Kelso Laddie, Chad Patterson. Laser lights will once again be available for purchase in the now car park, with the procession scheduled to begin at 10:30 from Mayfield. I would firstly like to welcome those guests tonight who are already seated, including our community councillors. We hope you all have an enjoyable evening. If you could please welcome the left-hand man's parents, Simon and Julie Forsyth. And the right-hand man's parents, Paul and Suzanne Hutcherson. It gives me great pleasure tonight to introduce our visiting dignitaries. The Berwick Marshal, Laura Hunter. The Musselburgh Honest Lad, Alistair Dunn. The Peebles Cornet and Cornet Lass, Jamie Mackay and Rebecca Greenhill. The Lodger Cornet and Cornet's Lass, Ellis Wilkinson and Amy Morris. The Gala Bro Lad and Pro Lass, Rudy Anderson and Chloe Logan. The White Cornet and Cornet's Lass, Jordan Nuttall and Alex Martin. The White Acting Father and Mother, Alan Weir and Julie Weir. The Selkirk Standard Bearer, Sam Coulthard. The Melrosian, Paul Fairbairn. The Duns Reavers Lass, Jana Lindsay. The Coldstreamer and his right and left hand men, Josh Kerr, Alistair Skinner and Aaron Lunn. The Yetum Baragaji and Baramanashi, Edward Whittle and Alex Redpath. And the Gerard Callan and his left and right hand men, and the Herald, Robbie Thompson, Lewis Turnbull, Lewis Stewart and Paul Hill. An important contribution tonight is that played by the Young Lady Bussers. Please welcome Anna Skeldon, led on by ex-Kelso Laddie, Callum Davidson. Katie Kerr, led on by ex-Kelso Laddie, Mark Henderson. by ex-Kelso Laddie, Sean Hook. And Best Tinland, led on by ex-Kelso Laddie, Craig Logan. Laddies were ready. Last year they were in front, this year they were behind. And the body who led the Kelso Laddie, the ex-Kelso Laddies, led on by George McCombie. And now for tonight's platform party. Please give a warm welcome to their graces, the Duke and Duchess of Roxburgh and their daughter Gigi. The Kelso Laddie's mother and father, Miss Laura Patterson and Mr. Barry Patterson. Our Civic Week Chairman, ex-Kelso Laddie, Andrew Haig, and Mrs. Sarah Haig. The Provost and President of the Kelso Laddies Association, Gavin Horsburgh, and Mrs. Lorna Horsburgh. And our left hand Kelso Laddie, Chad Patterson. And finally, a welcome to the standard bearer, Andrew Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Provost, Gavin Horsburgh.
Their Graces, the Duke and Duchess of Roxburgh, Kelso Laddie, ex-laddies, visiting principals, Mr. Chairman, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is with great pleasure I welcome you all here tonight to Kelso's historic square for the installation of the 2026 Kelso Laddie. Over the past weeks, the border towns have offered their hand of friendship and hospitality as they carried out their own common ridings and festivals to all who attended. The feedback received to myself is that Chad has been an outstanding ambassador of Kelso, and he and his family have been made very welcome and have made some great friends and memories to treasure. Over the next few days, Kelso will extend the same friendship and hospitality to all those who visit our beautiful town. I would like to thank those visitors and dignitaries from our border towns who have come here tonight to support our laddie, and a special warm welcome to any exiles who have either returned home to take part in Kelso Civic Week or who are watching tonight's proceedings along with this week's events via our live stream. We are very fortunate to have such a magnificent setting for our colour busing. The town is looking amazing. I thank everyone who has worked and volunteered their time to maintain this standard, not just this week, but throughout the year. I wish the 4 lady bussers and principals my very best wishes for this evening's ceremony and the rest of the week ahead. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the young man who will lead tonight's proceedings and take custody of the Borough Standard. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please show your appreciation as I give to you the 2026 Kelso Laddie, Chad Patterson.
Provost Horsburgh, ex-laddies, visiting principals, guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Tonight it is with great honour and immense feeling of pride that I stand here as your Kelso Laddie for 2026. To receive the Borough Standard from Provost Horsburgh is the highest honour the town can bestow to me and my family. I would firstly like to thank my 4 lady bussers, Anna, Ailey, Millie and Bev, for the way they have carried out their duties tonight. My sincere congratulations to you all, and your families will be so proud. Since my declaration back in April, I have had the privilege of being able to visit many other border towns and festivals where I've been made to feel extremely welcome and receive wonderful hospitality. I have made lots of new friends along the way, and I am very humbled to see lots of you here tonight. I know the people of Kelso will make you feel very welcome. To my right and left hand men, Angus and Jack, I would like to thank you both for your continued support throughout the summer, your words of wisdom and keeping me on the right track. To my family and my friends, neighbours and of course you people of Kelso, many thanks for your continued support. I could not have done this without you. Your incredible support means the world to me. Provost Horsburgh, I accept the Borough Standard with pride and honour and will endeavour to maintain the same high standards as set by my predecessors. So with the backing of my right and left hand men and the people of Kelso, I hope to make this Civic Week one to remember, and on Saturday I can return the borough standard unsullied and untarnished. Thank you.
The provost will now sash the right-hand man, Angus Hutcherson. And the left-hand man, Jack Forsyth. The prologue to the busing ceremony. In peacetime and wartime, men and women from Kelso have gone out to the four corners of the world in pursuit of their duty. And we symbolise our recognition of their deeds by our Kelso Laddie dipping the town flag to the north, south, east and west of Kelso Square. At each of these points, a lady busser will tie a blue or white ribbon to the standard. These four ribbons bear one word each: freedom, honour, valour and wisdom, as contained in the charge that the President will give to our Kelso Laddie. I now call the President of the Kelso Laddies Association to present the charge and entrust the flag to the Kelso Laddie.
To the bearer of the Kelso Standard. Down through the ages, the young men and women have gone out to defend their rights and freedom. This flag is their symbol. The citizens of Kelso who gather in this ancient square today to pay homage to their virtues of the past and promise for their future, the continued exercise of diligence to preserve the wisdom and valour, their heritage of freedom and honour. It is the duty of the Kelso Laddie, his right and left-hand men, to carry this heraldic symbol among the people of town and country, as a sign that the citizens of Kelso hold faith with the past, as an earnest of their determination to preserve its future. As the Provost of Kelso, I have therefore caused the Kelso Standard to be removed from its place of honour in the Council Chambers, and to entrust it to the Kelso Laddie for these purposes. I charge him to return the standard to me on Saturday next, with its honour unsullied and untarnished, so that it may once again be restored to its rightful place within the Council Chambers, there to stand as a lasting reminder of Kelso's proud history and as a symbol of our enduring faith and confidence in its future. I now call for the Kelso Laddie and the Kelso Standard. Direct, fear not.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the Kelso Laddie and the 4 lady bussers on a job well done. Laddie for this year is Tom Fairley. For the last few years, Tom has made sure none of us have forgot how much he was looking forward to receiving his walking stick. In fact, he's given us such strict instructions about tonight that we didn't dare turn up without it. So Tom, following your orders to the letter, it's my pleasure to invite the Kelso Laddie to make the presentation to our 60-year laddie. Words for him. Thank you all, firstly, and congratulations, Chad, on a job well done. You may wonder why I'm so adamant I was to get the walking stick. Well, I needed something to keep Joyce and the girls in check. 60 years on from being Kelso Laddie is a remarkable milestone, and it's given me the chance to look back on some truly wonderful memories. Representing Kelso was an honour I will always treasure. But what has stayed with me most are the friendships that were made along the way. Of course, no laddie ever does it alone. I have great help from my right and left hand men, George Swanson and the late Ali Neal, who both kept me on track along the way. To everyone involved in keeping our traditions alive today, thank you. Seeing Kelso Civic Week continue to thrive after all these years makes me incredibly proud. As this year's celebrations continue, I'd like to wish everyone in Kelso a fantastic Civic Week, and it's better felt than tell. The Kelso Laddie now invites his right and left hand men, along with the Jether Callant and the four lady bussers, to dance the Kelso Laddie reel. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for them all, and a special thank you to the Piper, Alan Beach. The Golden Jubilee medalist this year is ex-Kelso Laddie Eric Paxson. And I invite Sarah Haig, wife of Chairman, ex-Kelso Laddie Andrew Haig, to make the presentation to our Golden Jubilee Laddie.
I'd just like to thank Sarah for presenting you with the medal. I'd like to thank the 9 men sitting to my left-hand side, who picked me all these years ago. And to the people of Kelso who have given us great support over the last 50 years, to you, a huge thank you. And to all the visiting principals that attend every year, great to see you all here, and thanks very much for coming. Thank you.
Years ago, the ex-Kelso Laddies introduced an achievement award for the individuals who have contributed greatly to our local community. Tonight, the President of the ex-Laddies Club, David Mackay, will introduce this year's winner.
Honorary Provost, Kelso Laddie, ex-Laddies, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Firstly, on behalf of the ex-Kelso Laddies, I'd like to congratulate Chad and his 4 lady bussers on a fantastic busing ceremony this evening. You've done yourselves, your families, and the town of Kelso proud. Well done. For almost 25 years, the ex-Kelso Laddies Club has invited the people of Kelso to nominate individuals or groups who have gone above and beyond in their service of all things Kelso. Each of our previous winners has embodied selflessness, passion, and a willingness to help others, and this year's recipient is no different. Our award winner started volunteering at a very young age, spurred on by his time as a cub, where helping others was a primary objective. As he progressed through the Scouts, where he achieved the Queen's Award, he started a lifetime drive to help and support others through volunteering. From Scout to Senior Scout, to Scout Leader, to Group Scout Leader, and on to Assistant District Commissioner, our recipient always focused on supporting people in Kelso. Through the Scouts, our recipient became involved with the creation of a local judo club with Fred Freshwater. This involvement developed into becoming a club member and swiftly moved on to becoming secretary and treasurer of the club, positions held for many years. For as long as anyone can remember, our recipient has been at the heart of all activities involving the Border Ice Rink, which opened on October 1st, 1964. Many of you may have learned to skate with our achievement winner during those early days at the ice rink. At his first skating session, he was asked if he would volunteer to help scrape the ice after the session. This was the start of a 10-year term as ice steward at the rink. As you would expect, being part of the ice rink team led to a more hands-on approach with the Curling Association. Having had the odd game of curling with a few of his friends for a bit of fun, he then joined the Kelso Curling Club. But it wasn't long until he found himself on the committee. Beyond the Kelso area, our winner has also organised the start-up of the Scottish Agricultural Machinery Representations Association, a charitable association to assist their members in need, which he was a founder member president and later general secretary. His list of volunteering exploits is as impressive as it is long. For the Kelso Curling Club, he had several terms on the committee. He was club president for 2 terms and sat as club secretary and club treasurer. For the Border Ice Rink Club, he did 2 terms on the committee. He was the first registered curling coach for Kelso. Our recipient is a registered national curling umpire, and he was also the administrator for the BRI website. For the Border Province of Royal Caledonian Curling Club, he had 2 terms on the committee, sat as province president, as well as province secretary and treasurer. He was chair of several international incoming tours, as well as chair of 3 indoor grand marches, not forgetting countless fundraising activities. He was also treasurer of the Border Curling Development Group for 6 years and served on the board of directors as the Border Ice Rink director since 2008 before retiring in 2024. In total, our recipient has given 60 years of his life to volunteering at the Border Ice Rink, a valuable asset not just for Kelso but the wider community too. I'd also like to highlight the support this individual has given to our own Kelso Civic Week, having joined our committee a number of years ago. During his time on the Kelso Laddie Association Committee, he has taken on convener duties not only for the public address system and Kelso Civic Week website, but also for the Civic Week fancy dress parade and merchandising. I'd particularly like to highlight the remarkable turnaround that our winner has brought to our fancy dress parade. Many here will be all too aware that for a number of years it was declining in popularity. However, with his drive and enthusiasm, and with the support of many others, Kelso is very much back to having the best parade in the Borders. Finally, along with his wife Sheena, he still finds time to support son Gary and all his musical exploits, as I believe he is Gary's #1 roadie as well as tour manager. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me in congratulating our 2026 Achievement Award winner, Mr. Bill Cleghorn.
Well, this will not take long. There's other people in my family more accustomed to standing behind a microphone than me. So, first of all, I'd like to thank whoever nominated me from the public and thank the ex-Kelso Laddies for bestowing this honour on me tonight. It is very much appreciated. Going back to the Scout days that was mentioned, Sheena and I got married in St John's Church, and I was quite surprised when I came back out of the church to find a guard of honour of Scouts on either side of the aisle. And some of them were Kelso Laddies. There was Colin Dummer and Eric Paxton who were here tonight. I was going to put down here, but they're getting further to this end now. There were 2 fine young lads then. I don't know what happened to Eric Paxton. And when I go on to curling, I could go on for ages, but I won't do that. You've heard all about it tonight. What I would say is that the parade was something that I thought was needing a bit of a push, and I tried my hardest and we've got some vintage tractors and trailers involved so people can get vehicles. And I think that was the biggest change to the parade. Now, any of you, this is only Wednesday. You've still got time to get into the parade on Saturday. Please, it's more fun being in the parade than watching it. So please try and get into the parade. Once again, thanks for this great honour, and I'll leave the microphone to somebody else that can speak better as me. Thank you.
Kelso Laddie and his right and left hand men will now lead us in all 4 verses of Kelsey Bonnie Kelsey.
There's a fine old tune in the border, by the sides of the banks of the tree, where the salmon leap on the silver strand, and the game and the cattle feed. There are beauties fair in the lovely sea, in the valley of the tree, as she sits right there as the border queen. It's the hill and the vale and the mead, the days of strife and war are gone, now the border feuds are past. Yes, as Kelsey's sons we will praise and the fame shall forever last. Then let us all with heart and voice sing the praises of Kelsey's name. We will work and play and I know just, for Kelsey is her name.
3 cheers for the Kelso Laddie. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
Thank you. And could I also thank the Jade Instrumental Band for being here tonight. I will now invite the ex-laddies to escort the 4 lady bussers back to the town hall. I would also ask the platform party to leave the stage. The ex-laddies will now form up for a photo opportunity. While they are forming up, there is also some quick photo opportunities for the lady bussers and the Kelso Laddie. And that ends tonight's colour bussing. We hope you have enjoyed it. Kelso Laddies Association thanks you for your support. I would also like to thank our patrons and sponsors, without whom it would be very difficult to run such a full Civic Week. We hope you can count on your continued support. Enjoy the rest of Civic Week. Thank you.